Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with a double review tonight. You have both AEW Dynamite and NXT review on Wednesday night, April 1st, 2020. It is 11:30 exactly as I start speaking, and I just got done watching NXT, and nights like tonight is why I love pro wrestling. I love it. I love this shit too much, man. I love this shit way too much. And Wednesday nights are just amazing. AEW put on a fantastic show at the whatever warehouse they were at. It was rumors that it was at the Nightmare Factory where Cody trains at. It looks like it because there was the green turf. And then NXT had a solid show tonight. But first, we're going to talk about the AEW show tonight. So I don't want to waste any much time. It's 11:30. I'm probably going to be sitting here past midnight doing this review, which I have no problem with because I love this freaking channel. I love the people I interact with. And I love pro wrestling, so it's totally worth it. I don't care if I go over a half hour in this review. But make sure you guys go check out my Monday Night Raw review this past week and my Dark Side of the Ring review from last night, New Jack. You're not going to want to miss that. That was a very good short recap about the Dark Side of the Ring documentary last night talking about New Jack. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite first. This will be the first show we talk about. We started off with Kenny Omega versus Trent of the Best Friends, and this match was freaking great, man. 19 minutes they went. Trent almost took Kenny Omega to the limit. He did take him to a limit, but it was 1 minute short. But Trent pushed Omega hard, and Omega was targeting Trent early, and Trent was targeting the hand of Omega, really selling Irish whips to the turnbuckle like a pro. He made Trent look like $1,000,000 in this match, putting him over. Not winning, but he put him over with his moves. He sold the shit out of the moves that Trent was doing. There was this one spot. They were both on the top rope. And I think Omega slipped, and he landed on the left side of his shoulder, and that looked really scary. I really hope Kenny Omega was okay after this. But Trent was going for his finisher. Omega hit him with a V-trigger, one winged angel, and 1, 2, 3. Omega gets the win over Trent. This match was freaking awesome, man. They killed it to open Dynamite. Omega gives Trent an elbow bump after the match. He celebrates. And Kenny Omega, man, is putting on classics lately. Sammy Guevara last week, and now this week with Trent. And another really good thing about this match was having the wrestlers in the crowd. You had Jimmy Havoc in the crowd. You had Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford. You had Britt Baker, and Austin Gunn and Billy Gunn. We had Best Friends in there later, but them bringing the atmosphere and being loud during the match really helped it, and that's what didn't help the Sammy Guevara Omega match, and that could be the reason why I like the Trent and Kenny Omega match better than last week's match with Sammy Guevara. Trent is very underrated, and you could tell after tonight by having him go 19 minutes with Kenny Omega, AEW is very high on Trent. Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay. I'm guessing she's an independent wrestler, and AEW made her look really good in her loss to Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida is the top contender for the AEW Women's Champion. Um, Again, just like the Trent and Omega match, Hikaru Shida made Anna Jay. Sorry about that. Anna Jay look like a couple $1,000,000. This was a really good match. Lots of close falls in the match. And, Hikaru Shida got the win, which was deserved. Good for her. She's the top contender for Nyla Rose's Women's Championship. But I really hope that we get to see more of Anna Jay on Dynamite and Dark, because she's really good. She can freaking go, man. She went with the top women's wrestler, in my opinion, in AEW, and you gotta give props to her. And she's also pretty hot, so keep her around, AEW. Keep her around. We then got a video package, Moxley and the Inner Circle, mostly building around Moxley and Jake Hager. Moxley's like, I don't hide. Unlike Jake Hager in the Inner Circle, I don't need some posse behind me going around attacking people. Yeah, I got put through a table and you thought I was dead, but I'm not dead anymore, and I'm back up. And he's basically coming for Jake Hager. Moxley, I thought, was very good in the promo package. Hager, not so much. Hager did not cut really a good promo in the package. This was just all to lead up to Jake Hager versus Jon Moxley, which is happening in 2 weeks for the AEW World Championship in an empty arena, no-holds-barred match. They are going to tear this warehouse apart, in my opinion. There's going to be some crazy spots, and they're just going to tear the warehouse apart, in my opinion. And honestly, people have been shitting on Jake Hager like he's not worthy for a world championship spot against Jon Moxley. Yeah, he might not be worthy, but he's going to bring his A game against Jon Moxley, and he's going to give you a very good no-holds-barred match, in my opinion. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Marco Stunt. Yes, Marco Stunt was the first opponent for Lance Archer and his debut in AEW. They kept his theme song from New Japan, which is a positive thumbs up because that theme kicks ass. And Archer goes down. He attacks the ringside doctor. Marco tries to get in Lance Archer's face. Lance Archer, like 4 times the size as Marco Stunt, just punches Marco Stunt in the face, and Stunt is down. He tries attacking Stunt, throws him aggressively to the Irish Whip twice, and then, my goodness, man, Lance Archer, literally, he has Marco Stunt in a suplex position, and he throws Marco Stunt. Like, he suplexes Marco Stunt, but he throws him, and Marco Stunt lands outside of the ring. Marco Stunt was selling his ass off for this match. You gotta give it to him, man. He gets a lot of criticism too. He, for his size and all that stuff, he sold his ass off in this match for Lance Archer. So he got a little bit of offense, but not much. Archer giving him massive clotheslines, choke slam, and then he gave him the Everybody Dies, so he's got him on top of his shoulder, slams him to the ground. Lance Archer got the victory. He wasn't done yet. He takes Marco Stunt, throws him on the outside. Officials are telling him to stop. He lifts up Marco Stunt so high, and he throws him into the babyface side of the audience. And you got Cassidy and Chuck Taylor and Austin Gunn and Billy Gunn standing there with Orange Cassidy catching Marco Stunt. And he literally threw him like he was a football. Lance Archer threw Marco Stunt like he was a freaking football. It was unbelievable to see, and I was amazed. And I kind of laughed at it as well because of how hard he threw Marco Stunt into the audience. This was a perfect debut for Lance Archer, in my opinion. He is the Murder Hawk monster, and AEW has strapped that rocket behind his back, and he is off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. They announced the second half of the TNT Championship Tournament tonight with Kip Sabian versus Dustin Rhodes and Colt Cabana versus Lance Archer. Your finals for the TNT Championship match at Double or Nothing is Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer. And that'll be when Lance Archer becomes the first ever TNT champion. Talk about hilarious. Brody Lee. Brody Lee has been freaking killing it in this Exalted One gimmick for the past few weeks now. He's in a room, in a meeting, with the Dark Order minions. And one of the minions stands up and says, Mr. Lee. He says, what's my name? He says, Mr. Lee. And Brody Lee, he says, it's Mr. Brody. So you call me by Mr. Brody. And then the minion hesitated, and he said, it's effing Mr. Brody. And he kicked him out of the room. That was hilarious. So the other minion who was sitting there, a creeper, whatever, he was yawning. So he was like, why are you yawning? With the state in the world right now, you should not be yawning. Everything is closed in this world right now. We're going through tough times. Talking about the virus. There's no way that you should be yawning, and you will never yawn in front of my presence ever again. Now get out of here. So I love it. It's like Brody Lee is Vince McMahon ahead of creative, and he's yelling at his creative staff. That's exactly what it feels like. And it's hilarious as hell. And I love it, man. Brody Lee is killing it in this Exalted One gimmick. Then we had the Natural Nightmares versus Dark Order Creepers. What were their names? 8 and 9. And this was hilarious as well. So we got the two creepers named 8 and 9. And of course they lose to the Natural Nightmares. They beat them in like 5 minutes. They don't get lots of offense in. QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. You know, Dustin Rhodes is in the TNT Championship Tournament. I'm assuming he's going to be facing Lance Archer in the semifinals, but considering he's got nothing else to do as a singles competitor, pairing him up with QT Marshall for a while is not a bad idea at all, and I'm actually behind it. You could see some really good matches from the Natural Nightmares, I believe, in the future. And Dustin still has it, so he could still put on freaking killer matches for us. But the Natural Nightmares get the win, a very nice tag team finisher combination. After, Brody Lee comes up, he stares at Dustin for a little bit, walks into the ring, power bombs one of the creepers, I'm assuming it was the one who got pinned, looks at the other one, and walks away. Good. I like that a lot. That's what leaders should be doing. They should be punishing their followers, I guess you could say. They should be punishing them for losing a match, I guess. So that creeper is no longer a part of the Dark Order, which I love. Oh my god. This was my favorite part of the entire night, man. This was freaking fantastic. So we had Chris Jericho in his swimming pool talking about why he's not at Dynamite and he wants to stay away from everybody, all the wrestlers. He's got a little bit of the bubbly. He's drinking bubbly at his pool. And what do we see in the sky? We got Vanguard 1 following Chris Jericho around, stalking Chris Jericho. So he's talking about Matt Hardy and his broken brilliance and what happened last week during one of the best segments of the entire year, and how there will be a limit when he allows AEW fans to come back into the arena because he's banned all AEW fans. Nice one, Jericho. So then, Vanguard 1, he arrives. He's like, oh, hey Vanguard, I'm glad you came. Vanguard 1, I knew you'd come. He said he's glad he came. He said, look, I know he was a little harsh to him last week in front of Matt Hardy. And he's very sorry for those words. He truly respects Vanguard 1 for what he is. And Matt Hardy is not here to pressure him into joining the Inner Circle. So what does Chris Jericho have for Vanguard 1? He has a mini Inner Circle t-shirt. Yes, he has a mini Inner Circle t-shirt for Vanguard 1 to wear. And then he wants to give Vanguard an elbow bump. And Vanguard flies away. He's like, where you going? You piece of shit. Release the hounds. And we see all these dogs chasing after Vanguard 1. There's like 4 dogs. The one dog's like sitting there like, huh? So the dogs are chasing after Vanguard 1. Jericho Joe's chasing him. Throws his bottle of bubbly at him. How dare he? And that's the way the segment ends. Segments like this is how you know Chris Jericho is the freaking GOAT. Chris Jericho got a segment over. He got Vanguard 1 over. And he got a little small Inner Circle t-shirt over as well. The man is the freaking GOAT of pro wrestling. It's just the truth, man. He is amazing. In his time in AEW, he got a bottle of champagne over, a drone, a small Inner Circle t-shirt, an eye patch for Moxley. He got that over. And everything else. He's just the GOAT, man. Jericho's the GOAT. Main event of AEW Dynamite tonight, we saw Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears versus Cody and Darby Allin. This was a really good tag team match. Yes, it might have went a little bit long for my sake, but this was a really good tag team match with Sammy and Spears taking advantage of Darby Allin. And they were holding up Darby Allin for vertical suplexes for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And they were betting with each other mid-match. And it was so hilarious, man. This show is really fun. Brody Lee segment made me laugh. Jericho and Vanguard wanted me to laugh. This made me laugh. Freaking incredible, man. AEW knows how to do comedy wrestling. AEW knows how to do comedy wrestling. I'll say it again. So they're betting on vertical suplexes. Spears won $50. I'm really happy for Shawn Spears. And then Cody gets in the ring, comes in very hot on the tag, takes out Spears, takes out Guevara. Outside, Darby Allin gets thrown over the barricade. We see Darby Allin climb up on this big, gigantic pole, 10 feet in the air, and deliver a coffin drop to both Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears. And then Darby came in, was the legal man. Suicide dive. Guevara took out Cody. Spears with the roll up on Darby Allin, and Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara got the victory on Dynamite. Darby was very pissed off at what had just happened. Cody touched him to make sure he was okay, and Darby gave him a forearm. And I've already seen the people on Twitter be like, "Oh my God, Darby Allin just turned heel. Why would AEW turn Darby Allin heel when he's so hot as a babyface?" He's not turning heel, idiots. He's just frustrated that he lost the match, so he took it out on Cody. That's all. And so we get set up for the TNT Championship Tournament. The first round matchups will be Shawn Spears versus Cody, Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin, Kip Sabian versus Dustin Rhodes, and Colt Cabana versus Lance Archer. We are in for one hell of a tournament, folks. I'm really excited for the TNT Championship Tournament, which starts next week. And that was AEW Dynamite tonight. That was a really fantastic show in my opinion. And now it's time to talk about NXT. So NXT tonight kicked off with the Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish. Good choice for that to kick off. It was a really anticipated match, I guess you could say, going into it. This was a decent match for what it was. They did not have the best chemistry together. Bobby Fish is definitely a tag team wrestler, but it's nice to see him in a singles match with Velveteen Dream. Dream won the match with the Dream Valley Driver, and he cut a promo on Adam Cole saying that he should get off the couch playing video games and worry about the Velveteen Dream coming after him and being the next NXT champion. So we got the Dream and Fish match, which I said it was decent for what it was in my opinion. It was really long. It did not need to have 2 commercials in it, I believe. It only needed 1 commercial, and Dream gets the win. This match went way too long in my opinion, but it was decent. And the Velveteen Dream got the victory over Bobby Fish. Let's talk about this match. Dexter Lumis versus Jake Atlas. Now, people are really high on Jake Atlas. Signing with NXT, they love Jake Atlas. But Dexter Lumis, we have to talk about Dexter Lumis, man. He came into some very creepy music. Commentary tonight, Tom Phillips and Sam Roberts. By the way, Sam Roberts was not good on commentary tonight at all. He's a terrible analytic, and he's even worse at commentary. He's very annoying to hear, and I did not enjoy listening to Sam Roberts on commentary during NXT. But you gotta give them credit when credit is due, because they played up to Dexter Lumis really well in this match with Jake Atlas. They were sounding afraid and confused about Dexter Lumis, and that he didn't blink the entire time. He didn't blink the entire time. He's looking into the camera really weird. And he defeated Atlas in a few minutes, tapping him out, slithering very weird. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm already a fan of Dexter Lumis. He is the future of NXT for sure, in my opinion. He's the future of NXT. He has a very unique gimmick, which I'm digging a lot. And he will be a top heel on NXT. I guarantee you that. Dexter Lumis will be a top heel on NXT. And I'm very interested to see what he does next. I really am. Next, we got a Killer Cross vignette for when he will be showing up. Commentary acting like he don't know who he is. They don't know who this is. This is obviously Killer Cross. He could show up next week during the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa match. We'll just have to wait and see. Women's Gauntlet match. Shotzi Blackheart, Deonna Purrazzo, Xia Li, Aaliyah, Kaden Carter, and Dakota Kai. Now, Shotzi Blackheart was the one who got the breakout performance in this match. In the Gauntlet match, she lasted all the way to the finals with Dakota Kai, and she put on a really good performance. She got, I don't know if you could say over. I know a lot of people like Shotzi Blackheart, but yeah, she had a very good performance in this Gauntlet match, but it made me not care in a sense because there was no audience. A Gauntlet, this match, especially a Gauntlet match, needs an audience for the babyface who is going through everybody in the Gauntlet, gets down to the final one, crowd gets loud, and then they get disappointed at the end when they lose. A match like a Gauntlet match needs an audience. And the fact that this match did not have an audience, it kind of killed the vibe and it killed the excitement of this match. Plus, it was very predictable what was going to happen. Shotzi was going to make it all the way to the finals and lose to Dakota Kai, which she did. She had very decent matchups with Deonna Purrazzo, Xia Li, Aaliyah, and Kaden Carter. The first one with Purrazzo was like 10 minutes. The second one with Xia Li was like 6 or something like that. I wasn't counting. Aaliyah was quick. Kaden Carter was about 4 minutes. And then we got to Dakota Kai. And it was a good contest between them. Kai got her finisher in on the end. And Kai wins the women's gauntlet match. And she is the last participant in the 6-woman ladder match to crown a new number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Like I said, was the match good? Yeah, it was good. But it would have been better if we had an audience in this match. Because a gauntlet match needs an audience, and there's no vibe or excitement there. That's my opinion. Kushida versus Joaquin Wilde. Man, going into it, I was like, oh, I don't care about this match. I'm thinking about just fast forwarding it and going to the main event. But I did not regret my decision. I watched the match, and the match was really good between Kushida and Joaquin Wilde. Kushida is very underrated. Hasn't gotten a lot of spotlight, I guess you could say, in NXT. I could see him hopefully taking the Cruiserweight Championship off of Jordan Devlin and building the division around Kushida. So I think that's what's best. And having that match be on a takeover. Because if you put Kushida and Jordan Devlin on a takeover, they will give you a show stealer, in my opinion. Those two will give you a show stealer for a really good match. This match between Kushida and Joaquin Wilde was very good as well, with them going back and forth with headlocks in the beginning. They did a Spanish fly off the top rope. Joaquin Wilde got out of the hoverboard, and then at the end, Joaquin Wilde went for some move. I think it went for signatures. Kushida caught him in the hoverboard, and Joaquin Wilde tapped out. Kushida got the win. He shook hands with Joaquin Wilde at the end, and then out in the parking lot area, Joaquin Wilde is getting interviewed. He said, "Yeah, I had a good match with Kushida, but I lost again. I've lost matches every time I've come to NXT, and I thought I'd come to NXT and it'd be a new life, but I'm losing match after match after match. After that, a van pops up. 2 masked dudes saying, 'Joaquin, get in the car.' So they throw Joaquin in the car, and off they go. Joaquin Wilde has been kidnapped by these two masters. They kidnapped Raul Mendoza, and they kidnapped Joaquin Wilde. What I think this could be leading to is some sort of a faction with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza being aligned with Killer Cross. I feel like it could be something for them to do. They could be in the tag team division, because NXT desperately needs tag teams in the division. You only got the Broserweights, Oney Looking and Danny Burch, the Forgotten Sons, the two Indian dudes, I don't know their names, I'm sorry, managed by Malcolm Bivens. Yeah, that's it. So I feel like putting Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde in the tag team division could be a good thing for them. Why not do it? You know? So they promote next week on NXT that we'll be getting Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in the final bout. That should be interesting. That should be awesome. I cannot wait to see that match happen. And we will see the six women ladder match between Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, and Chelsea Green. If I had to place a bet, I think Io Shirai is 100% winning this ladder match next week. Main event time. Triple threat match for the North American Championship. We had Damian Priest, Dominic Dijakovic, and Keith Lee. This was awesome. This was a awesome triple threat match, takeover worthy. My only problem was this was a takeover match. Why do you need a commercial? This match should have been commercial free, in my opinion. But that's me. This match was still great regardless. We got Dijakovic holding Damian Priest up over his head, throwing Priest, and then Priest giving Dijakovic a DDT. We got Priest throwing Dijakovic over the top rope to Keith Lee. So they were fighting. And this was very scary. Damian Priest bounces off the ropes. He does his move where he does one foot on the ropes. He dives on the outside. And he hit he hit the back of his head on the apron. That was more scarier than Kenny Omega landing on his left shoulder and the German suplex from Trent. But we get back from commercial. Priest does a sidewalk slam to Keith Lee. What did we get next? Both guys are... No. We get a... I don't remember. Whatever. Both guys, Keith... Dijakovic and Damian Priest in a chokeslam position. Keith Lee comes out of nowhere, gives them the double chop to the chest. I don't know what Tom Phillips called it. I'm not sure. And he knocks Priest off. Dijakovic... no. They both go to the top rope. He's looking for a double Spanish fly position. They both grab Keith Lee's throat. And they gave him a choke slam. Dijakovic knocks off Damian Priest. And Dijakovic does this insane dive onto Keith Lee. It was like a dragon screw, I believe, onto Keith Lee. Keith Lee kicked out. Moments later, we see Damian Priest grab his weapon, the black stick. He goes for Dijakovic. Dijakovic ducks. He gets Damian Priest in his finisher maneuver. Um, Dijakovic hits his knee on the pipe that Damian Priest is holding. Keith Lee pounces Damian Priest over the outside of the ring. Um, he is suplex jackhammer onto Dominic Dijakovic, and Keith Lee retains the NXT North American Championship in a takeover worthy match. This match was awesome. This was probably tied for best match of the night, along with Trent and Kenny Omega from AEW Dynamite. Keith Lee is the NXT North American Champion still. And I don't know who's going to be taking that championship from him next. Keith Lee is certainly amazing. That is what this match proved. So is Priest and Dijakovic. They'll probably be feuding with each other. I don't know what's next for Keith Lee. We're just going to have to wait and see. But this was a really strong way to close out NXT tonight. Overall, I thought NXT, again, was another good show, just like last week. NXT was a good show tonight. Two really good shows tonight from AEW and NXT. And I want to thank all of you for watching this double review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Subscribe right here on the channel. So we're going to have WrestleMania content up for you guys this weekend. I don't know if I'll be doing SmackDown on Friday night. I don't know yet. But I will be here for your WrestleMania predictions tomorrow here on the channel. Comment down below what you thought of both AEW Dynamite and NXT tonight. Like this video with a super kick. And then follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins515. And guys, I will see you right back here on the channel for your WrestleMania 36 predictions. And also, I was on my good friend DJ Storm's channel. I will be on DJ Storm's channel tomorrow doing his WrestleMania predictions with him. So if you want to see me in 2 WrestleMania prediction videos, check out his video tomorrow and check out my video tomorrow as well. Getting out of here, and have a good night, guys.